Get ready with me while I talk about family enmeshment and triangulation. Enmeshment is when a family unit doesn't have a lot of individuality, when you don't know where you end and your family begins, when everybody in the family has the same group think, or there's no boundaries within the family. That's usually a sign that family enmeshment is happening. Enmeshed families are usually very threatened by other parties coming in, other ideas. Family system needs to be protected above all else, and it leads to a lot of codependency in the children on the parents a lot of the time, because they often don't know how to make a decision or move forward with something without checking in. Within the enmeshment and codependency area of the therapy world is a concept called triangulation. It's one of my favorite concepts to explain to clients. This happens when a parent utilizes a child for an inappropriate form of support. When I say inappropriate, I mean utilizing the child as a partner rather than a child, in a way where if there's an issue between parents, the parent uses the child as a co-parent or as their therapist or their person to vent to about that other parent. An example of this could be a divorced mom treating her, eldest son as more of a co-parent and father figure to the rest of the children, rather than letting him be a kid or something like that. I'm sure you've seen this play out in many different family dynamics, but the impact on the child tends to be a parentification, which is a growing up too fast because you're exposed to adult emotions or adult actions. Physically being responsible for cooking dinner, for example, or picking up kids or whatever it could look like, because you do take on that co-parent type of role. And it can often be difficult for other relationships to come in and try to take up space, because there's so much space being taken up by the family of origin and their needs, especially as the child grows up. So in therapy, we would work on identifying these things, identifying what was appropriate and what was maybe not appropriate, and setting healthy boundaries in the future in order to not have to take on this role anymore, which can unfortunately lead to sometimes some heightened emotions, and sometimes feel like it gets worse before it gets better. And that's because it's a disruption of that family system. People aren't gonna like that because they rely on you to be a certain role. Let me know if this makes sense to you, and if you have any questions about enmeshment. I hope you have a good day.